Good afternoon, YouTube. This is Nate, your Oklahoma dude here, and I want to welcome you to the second episode out of my channel. So, today we are going to be looking at Twisted Stash. It's a Oklahoma City brewed beer from the Twisted Spike Brewing Company. Measures in at 4.8%. So, company's been around since 2016. I mean, I'll be honest with you, this is the first time I'm hearing about them. But let's go ahead and give this thing a try. So, got a nice darkness here. Love me a good dark beer, like I said before. It's good. It's a little heavier on the carbonation than what I'm used to. Now, you'll find that, a lot of your stouts, which are below like 5 or 6%, will have increased carbonation. And it still doesn't really take away from the flavor. You can still taste the milk stout influence. Hints of coffee in it, which ain't too bad. Everyone loves a good Java every now and then, right? So let's go ahead and roll on into our next segment. Today in history, in 1215, the Magna Carta was signed, which we would later use as the foundation for our Constitution. What this was basically it gave citizens the rights that so many countries around the world enjoy nowadays. And then, building off of that, today in 1775, the Continental Congress elected George Washington to be Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army, which the position of Commander-in-Chief would soon be regulated to the President. So, and seriously, if you don't know who George Washington is, just stop. Alright? Anyway. So, today in metal news, Tool is back in the studio again, recording the bass lines for the new album. Now, Justin Chancellor, the bassist for Tool, has said that he's making excellent progress with it. He showed a picture of his setup with like 20 pedals and said that, hopefully we should see the album in 2019. Now, I'm going to go off of their previous release back in 2006 called 10,000 Days, and I'm going to estimate that it'll take about 10,000 days for us to get the new album. Maybe we'll live to see it, maybe not. So, time to move on to my favorite segment, hot sauces. So, really what I'm trying to do is every Friday when I upload a video, I want to represent Oklahoma. So, that's why we had an Oklahoma beer. And now we have an Oklahoma hot sauce. This is from DWD brand. It's called Chicky Chicky Boom Habanero Hot Sauce. It says it's made with handcrafted vodka. Sounds good, right? Now, unfortunately, I wasn't able to find a whole lot on Scoville for this, but I tell you what, I'm going to test it out, and I'm going to give you my rough estimate on Scoville. Get it nice and mixed up there so you get the full ingredients. Alright. It's got a little stopper on the top. And I'm completely missing the spoon and spilling it all on my carpet. Alright. Get a nice little taste of this. It's not bad. I would probably put it about 10 to 15,000 range. You know, not necessarily hot enough to burn, but it does have a little kick, you know. Let me check the ingredients here real quick. Very first ingredient, tomatillos. So it's a little watered down, but it has a very garden flavor. You know, like those garden salsas you can buy at your flea market. Kind of gives you that kind of flavor. And of course, you know, habaneros, a couple bell peppers, carrot, and Tito's handmade vodka. Gotta love yourself some Tito's. I like drinking it with White Russians, personally. But yes, I highly recommend, if you're able to get a hold of it, check that hot sauce out. Very smooth. So in science news, the Mars rover Opportunity is entering a hibernation phase because there's a storm brewing that scientists expect will blanket about a quarter of the planet. So, due to interference, they're not going to be able to make contact with the rover. So the rover is entering a standby phase. So basically, because of a bunch of chaos, the rover is going to sleep. I can relate to that. You know, things get a little hectic, and I'm just like, you know, screw this, I'm going to bed. You know. So, moving on, final segment of the day is feel-good news. The new Mr. Rogers documentary is out, and apparently a lot of people are crying tears of joy, you know, after watching it, because it reminds them of how wholesome television once was. Now, I'm a big fan of Mr. Rogers. I grew up watching him, you know, and critics are already saying it's like spot on. So I think I'm going to go check it out. And maybe you should too, you know? Depends on if you're a Mr. Rogers fan. So, Denver schools are kind of being neighborly in their own way. And they are giving breakfast and lunch to students in low-income areas for free over the summer. Upwards of 50 schools are doing it. And I just think that's cool, you know? You know, some of these kids, they don't get breakfast, you know? I'll tell you what, I don't eat breakfast half the time. And I feel like crap, you know? So, I'm glad to see that, you know, they're taking a progressive step forward and, you know, helping out the kids who really can't help themselves, you know? So that makes you feel good, doesn't it? You know? So, and that's really all I got for this episode. Now, it seems a lot shorter than my previous episode, but that's because I was recommended, it was recommended to me that I don't exceed like 15 minutes because y'all might lose interest. So I'm going to take that advice to heart, and hopefully, you know, I can still produce good quality content for y'all, and we can move forward with this. So this has been Nate, your Oklahoma dude, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. If you have any advice, please leave it in the comments section. So take care, and don't forget to abide.